Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Adam,
And I'm Gary.
and we're two dudes.
Carving pumpkins.
Oh, man. No, that's nice, but we're two dudes picking, Gary. Two dudes picking.
Aww.
Hello, everybody. How are you tonight? Welcome to Two Dudes Picking. This is Adam and Gary, and we have a special guest tonight. His name is Julian, known as Bearded Thrift Machine on YouTube. How are you tonight, buddy?
Doing pretty good. How are you? Thanks to you guys for letting me on here.
Oh, absolutely.
Pleasure's all ours, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thrilled that you could join us. This is going to be an awesome conversation. We started to kick off a 3-part series the last time we had a podcast, and we spoke with Carolina Hustler, Casey, the Carolina Hustler. We're getting to know people better who have made that leap of faith into a full-time eBay career, reselling full-time, that is, because guess what? It's not part-time for everybody. Sometimes it means the bacon on the table, and that's where Julian comes in. Recently, maybe this year, we'll find out exactly. We know he went full time. We don't know why. We want to find out why. And to tell you what, before we get started, we're kind of a small story right here, right now. And Julian, I would like you to take a few minutes, if you would, just to introduce yourself and your channel or anything you want people to know about you on Instagram or social media.
My name is Julian. I'm from South Carolina. I've been a full-time reseller for about 11 months now. And I started YouTube probably about 6 months ago, maybe, and Instagram probably 8 months ago. And I mainly only sell right now on eBay. And my girlfriend actually got me into this entire thing, who she's in the chat right now, Southern Pearl Thrift. She's the reason why. Yeah. She's actually at work right now, but she's the one that got me into this flip life. And I took it to a whole new level. Like, she was like, hey, you should, learn how to do this. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, I quit my job. I'm going to do it full time. And that's how it went.
That's excellent. And it's awesome that she's got your back like that, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gary, how about you, buddy? How long you been reselling?
God, I mean, I think we're going on the better part of a decade now, but it's always kind of been on and off, onesie twosie items here, whatever I've got around the house that I don't want anymore and don't feel like donating. Some, more heavy into the reselling, in the more recent years, to where it's actually generating some money. So, what about you, Adam?
Oh, I've been doing it for about 7 years, but you're the one who got me started, buddy. Remember? I'm the Padawan. You're the master.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. It's like Padawan has become the Jedi.
Yes, I am still learning how to wield the lightsaber.
That's right.
But no, I do it. We're part-time. Both of us are part-time. We got a regular 9-to-5 that pays the bills, puts the bread on the table, right? But this is what we do to fund our habits, if you will. And our habits aren't bad. It's just like, Jeeps, trucks, cell phones.
There you go.
Vacation, that type of thing.
The usuals.
Yeah, loving it. We got we got the Nurse Flipper here tonight. Thanks so much for showing up. We do appreciate you logging in and watching the show. Thank you so much. And so, Julian, I'm going to begin our little interview with you, sir, with what I call a lightning round. It's I gave questions to Julian ahead of the show so that he could become familiar and maybe tell me if I went a little too off topic. Maybe there's something he doesn't want to talk about. But these questions are off my head. You do not get to see these questions. Nice. It's the lightning round so that we get to know the Bearded Thrift Machine more. Well, maybe not more than Kayla here, but a lot more than we know him today. So are you ready for the lightning round, sir?
Let's do it.
All right. First question. How long have you been growing your beard?
I actually started growing this the day that I quit my job. So it'd be 10 months, 11 months.
Okay. I would have honestly guessed a lot longer because of the fact that that's your name in all of your socials and your YouTube. So I thought maybe it was literally growing on you a little bit longer than that.
No, I knew I could grow a beard and some people just can't. I knew I could grow a full beard. And I said, when I quit my job, because I wasn't allowed to have one at my job. Okay. And I was like, once I'm done, I'm growing this thing. I have been trimming it, but I think it's a little bit longer than I'll probably start just keeping it, the same length.
I wasn't expecting to ask you this, but I'm going to anyway. You're going to go full on Duck Dynasty?
No, it won't be. It won't be that long. No, I'll keep it. I'll keep it maybe another inch or two, and then that'll be it.
There you go. Looks good though. I got a beard, but I can't grow a beard like yours. I keep it trimmed with the 2, and that's it.
I could, but man, it itches too bad. I can't. I just can't. This right here is already starting to get out of hand for me. So
it's funny because when you start growing it does go through like an itchy phase.
Oh yeah.
And then at this point, I don't really feel that I have this.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it kind of like it does itch when you get, like at your face a little bit more. It really like gets irritating. But once you get past that, this is like I forget I have it until I look in the mirror and I'm like, what is that?
I never participate in No Shave November because I'm afraid it won't grow back. So, second question. Technically now third question. But did you play any sports when you were in high school?
Not really. No. I did a lot of weightlifting in high school. I don't know if you could really constitute that as a sport, but that's actually like all I did was I weightlifted. I did competitions and stuff.
There you go.
Sounds like a sport to me.
Yeah, sounds like a sport to me too. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
They may not give you a Letterman's jacket or something, but if you're going to competitions, that's definitely a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. How do you like your steak cooked?
It's going to be medium rare.
Good
That's
call.
pretty good.
Good call.
Mhm.
Gary, I don't even know that answer to you. How do you like your steak cooked?
Usually somewhere between medium rare and medium, depending on the cut, depending on the thickness, depending on the what steak it is. My wife and I, funny story, we were out to dinner the other night with some friends of ours, and we're all ordering some steaks, and we get around to my friend's wife, and she says, "Well done, really well done." I was like, oh my God. It's like, you're married to her? With that kind of steak outlook? Are you serious?
That is crazy.
So,
we should hang out more often because that's exactly how I take my steak too, guys. Medium to medium rare.
Oh, I thought you were about to say well done. I was like,
you were gonna say,
no, we gotta talk.
No, medium to medium rare.
Yeah, next thing you're gonna tell me is you put ketchup on it.
Oh man, a buddy of mine I went to high school with. We all got together. It was 3 families. We put all of our steaks on the grill and we cooked them the way we liked them, except for him. He didn't put his steaks on the grill until we took ours off and went in to put them on our plate, make our plate. And he was done sitting at the table with his plate before I finished making like potato salad and all the side items. That's how rare he eats his steak.
Just walk it through a warm room. Yep.
That's it. All right. You ready for the next one? Now, this is when I ask all of them. All of our guests get this question. iPhone or Android?
I'm Android.
Android all the way. Thank you very much. All right. What are you going to ask Santa Claus for Christmas this year?
What am I going to ask Santa Claus for Christmas?
If she's still here, do we need to ask her to not listen for a second?
No. I would say I would just say a continued good outlook on life, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no like real
way to take the pageant answer on that one. You going for Miss South Carolina?
I am, and it's working out pretty good. I might actually win. We don't know.
That's
awesome.
right. That's right.
But if I wasn't asking for something, it would probably be like I don't know, a Ford Raptor, the new one, or the new 2021, or the new 2021 Bronco. But we gotta see which.
Good call.
We'll see which one what happens. But the Bronco looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
I'd say I love the Raptors, but I think I would take a Bronco over a Raptor personally. So I'm kind of there. It looks so off-road capable. I'm waiting to see what they can do on the trails before I give a final verdict on that. But yeah, it's a good-looking vehicle anyway.
Do you like the 2-door Bronco or the 4-door Bronco?
2-door. I'm more of a 2-door.
All the way.
So yeah, especially again, because I'm a Jeep guy, and I tend to like my Jeeps a little bit longer, the 4-door versions, the unlimited versions. But with the Bronco, I think that the 2-door suits it better. I just think it goes back to that classic look of what the Bronco is. So.
Oh yeah.
This turned into a car podcast real quick. All right,
so
go ahead.
I want to say hello to a couple of pickers who joined us tonight. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Seems like that she thinks that Kat, the nurse flipper, could be stalking her because they tend to both end up on a couple of different shows at the same time. But that's okay. As long as it's our show, I don't care who stalks who.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. This is a stalking free zone. So stalk
That's
away.
exactly. Thanks so much, everybody who's in the chat. I appreciate y'all stopping by Two Dudes Picking and joining us tonight. So we're going to get into the meat of this interview. And what we're going to do is we want to find out what was going through Julian's mind, his brain, his line of thinking when he made this decision to go full time on eBay. And the first thing I wanted to ask you is, can you tell us, do you mind telling us what it was you did before you started reselling on eBay?
Sure. I was a police officer.
You were?
Yep. I was a sergeant and over a platoon of guys down here in South Carolina. And I was also a canine cop. So when you see that dog in my intros and stuff, that's actually a retired canine.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
cool. Very cool.
You know what? I wanted to adopt a retired canine as my dog. It's very difficult, I've learned. I wasn't able to get it accomplished. I did get a good dog, but he wasn't a retired canine. And the reason why I wanted to go that route was because, one, I knew they were going to be already well trained, one. And two, I just felt like a dog like that needed a good home with a family that loved them for however much life they had left,
Yeah,
So.
it's because they were. I mean, this dog was. I could tell you a story about this dog. He has done so much. Like when he was just a little puppy, and then when he actually did retire, he's one of the toughest dogs. Kayla will tell you. His name is Biko. One of the toughest dogs you'll ever meet, and he's like so loyal, and he was so work driven. But she has helped actually his transition into family life because now he's a full blown pet, which is perfectly fine. Because before he wasn't like that. Like we were serious, we were work, and that was it. Like he didn't, because he was a work dog. But yeah, if you were to adopt one, you have to be, I would think, well versed in dogs, because you have to be. They will overrun you. Like these types of Alpha 1 dog, like Malinois and Shepherds, they got that certain kind of thing, and if they know they can get past you, they will every time.
Okay.
So you have to be definitely like alpha in the house, because if not, these dogs are super smart. Like I know people are like, oh, they're just dogs. I was like, I'm telling you, I didn't think this one knows English. Like, and like what I'm thinking sometimes, he is ridiculous, but I love him to death. But he's retired canine. He actually got injured, and that's why they retired him.
What was his name? I didn't catch his name.
Biko, Biko.
Okay, that's what I thought. She dropped the name there. I wanted to make sure that was what she was dropping was the name. Cool. Awesome. Okay. So how long were you a cop? How long were
10
you?
years.
10 years.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay. So what made you take the leap of faith? What happened?
There wasn't like one incident that happened. The whole thing, basically 7 years in, my father used to run a construction business. So 7 years in law enforcement. I was in Columbia, South Carolina. I did work out there, as a police officer, moved into the Myrtle Beach area and became a cop. Did 4 years. And then I was like, I'm done with this stuff. I'm out. I started a construction business like with him. I was more like a subcontractor. And I was like, this isn't for me. Like, I'm not afraid. I don't think it's failure if you learn what you want to do in life. So I wasn't like, I was just like, hey, I could have taken that company over and been super successful here in the Myrtle Beach area as a construction worker, like to own his company. And I just didn't. I was like, I don't really want to do that. And he was cool with it. So I thought I missed law enforcement, but I think I just missed the security of having, that paycheck come in.
Yeah.
So I went back for 3 years, and those 3 years, the first maybe 6 months, I was like, I'm glad to be back. And I promoted very quickly. Like I got my dog back. I went from very low to a mid-level supervisor very fast. And I didn't like it anymore. And once you, especially a career like that, once you don't like it and you're not in it 100%, you need to do everybody a favor, especially yourself, and get out. Because if not, I mean, you might have actual deadly consequences if you were, not in it all the way. So I had a real reflection of, I kind of knew that I was getting out for 2 years. So it wasn't like I just quit one day and didn't have a plan. I had very expensive items in my life, like trucks and boats and a whole bunch of stuff. And I liquidated everything before I got out. I sold, I think I sold 3 boats and my truck.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, and then so I basically eliminated all debt other than the
No,
house I
that's
lived in.
good. That's
Mhm.
good. And you know what? You thought about what are you going to do next before you stepped out on that ledge?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
like I hate it when I come across somebody who honestly has the line of thinking of it doesn't matter what I do next. I don't like what I'm doing now, so I'm just going to go ahead and quit, and whatever comes my way happens. I'm like, that to me, that is
Mhm.
not a safe way. If you've
Mm-mm.
got a family, if you got somebody to to pay for, or something like in debt to pay for. Casey had mentioned that there was debt involved as well, and that kind of, I think everybody has some form of debt. It just depends on how deep that debt is, right?
Mhm.
You got to take care of that before you can take a step off the ledge like that, in my opinion.
I was going to say too, that seems to be somewhat of a recurring theme, so far. Now, granted, we've only talked to a couple of folks about who've taken the full-time leap. At least I've been here for those, but that being debt-free and allowing yourself the opportunity to succeed without having to worry about debt constraining you seems to be a key part of taking that leap of faith, going from part-time anyway or hobbyist into a full-time reseller type role.
Yeah. Would you think it's the clean slate approach? Like you need to have that clean slate before you take this type of step in your life?
I wouldn't say that you need that, because I started with, like, if I had an eBay store that was cranking how it is right now on sales, I would be more apt to take, the leap of faith if I had some more like debt. Like when I
Mhm.
started, I had a very small eBay store. I don't think I even had like 100 listed, and I
Mhm.
wouldn't say I was making a sale every day. Maybe it was like every other day. It wasn't a lot, but I had money already saved up, and I knew that I was going to do this, so I knew I was going to be good for a little bit.
Mhm.
But if you like right now, I do pretty decent. I mean, I'm not like killing it, but I do pretty good like daily sales. So if you had like daily sales rolling in, and mine are fairly consistent, I I would be okay with having some sort of debt now. Like if but I'm one that I got over I'd rather have an old car that doesn't have a payment than a new car with a payment. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't even buy a car. We're talking about the 2021 Bronco. I'll buy that when I can buy it with cash.
No, there you
Yeah.
go. Yep.
So
That's a
that's
tough step, but it's an important one.
yeah. As long as that old Toyota, I have a Toyota Tundra. As long as that thing keeps running, I'm gonna drive it until it literally doesn't run anymore.
That'll be a
There,
while. Those
yeah,
Toyotas
It,
it
run.
will be a while. Yeah. Say, Adam,
Got a Tacoma here.
you got a taco. Yeah. So yeah,
When
your
I
taco
bought
will
it,
run forever.
everybody was telling me you're gonna love that car. It's gonna last you forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find out.
yeah,
Oh man. So I gotta you just said you had maybe 100 items listed when you went full retail, when you
mhm.
went full resale. Did you, and you were doing some reselling before you actually went full time. So with 100 items, what was your level of anxiety or nervousness when you decided to do it?
It was pretty high. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty high. Like, to be honest, it's still on certain days I get nervous, but I just like learn to work through it. And Kayla helps me out a good bit. Like, hey, it'll be all right. Like, sales will come, because I do work a ton. I list a lot, I buy a lot. So sales will come. But in the beginning, it was very stressful, because I was like, I really want to do this. I think this is it. And so I just kind of like, 100, but I learned very quickly that scaling is the way to go. Like, I understand that you can hit home runs, but for what I was doing with thrift stores and garage sales, I had to scale very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So that nervousness kind of worked into a good thing, because I would just source most of the day until like 4 o'clock, and they come home and list. And then I never really got, after the initial, I never really got super nervous or scared, because I was working like every day, every single second. I was working, so, and to make it successful.
I appreciate you dropping by, Nurse Slipper. Thanks so much. You have a safe trip. All right, drive safe.
She's gonna go pick up her dog. I saw it on the ground.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
That's
nice.
getting a puppy.
I like dogs. Oh, she's getting a puppy.
Yeah, she's getting
Cool.
is it? I think it's a golden retriever. Maybe.
Nice.
She probably
Mine's a
already
mixed golden lab. Love that. Love that little thing. Neo, he's the one.
knows.
But you had talked about the scaling. Can you go into that a little bit more? What you mean by scaling? A little bit more detail.
Sure. Like with 100 items, and unless you're selling stuff that you're making a profit of like $50, like actually money in your pocket, $50 to $100, which I'm finding kind of difficult to do. I can find a whole bunch of things that make $10 on, which is fine. So to make money every day, I try to sell 10 to 15 items per day that profit me, like in my pocket after everything, $10.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need
Per item.
Per item, yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if you do, 10, and this is actually after taxes, cost of goods, and all that fees and everything. So $10 in the pocket, 10 to 15 items, that's $100 to $150 per day. That's okay now. I do want to be up, a little bit higher. But the scale is from, I went to 100 items listed to 1,000 within a couple months. Like right now I'm at 13 something. So within that little bit of time, I just had to buy a whole bunch, and it was very difficult to find. Like when we do the other episode of like what not to buy, I have a lot of those. Like people are like, how do you know, especially on Instagram, how do you know what to buy? I don't. I still like have struggle with that because it's just there's so much out there. But to scale is you just have to buy a whole bunch of good stuff and don't, you need that always listing and always movement on eBay. At least I do on my store to get traction every day. Like I list something every day, usually like 10 to 30 items a day. Sometimes I can be up in the 50s, depends what I'm doing.
And I was just about to ask Julian, what does your typical week look like? So we're talking about like the idea that you're doing this as a full-time job, right? So that means you basically have to treat it like a full-time job, like you're at work. Do you have certain days that you go out and source? Do you have certain days that you list? Do you have certain days that those are your shipping days? How do you structure your week out?
Every day I have 1 day shipping, so the next day is shipping. So every day is a shipping day, but usually like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I am going to be listing. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I might list a couple things before church, but I don't really do anything. We have our Sunday routine. You have to have. I still think even this, I do work a little bit because I ship on Sundays, like from the weekend. But you need just to disconnect a little bit from everything. Go have some fun and then come back. But Mondays, every day I usually wake up between 5 to 6:30 in the morning. And I start to list and I prep the night before. So if I want to list, 30 items, I already have them prepped because in the morning it's very difficult to get anything done that's not like I don't want to clean shoes at 6 o'clock in the morning. They already got to be cleaned. So I start listing until 9:15. So I got 3 hours of uninterrupted. There's, if Kayla's here, she's not awake yet. I have like literally quiet. So I list for 3 hours straight. And at 9 o'clock, I stop listing. I pack all the stuff like in the car because I pack the night before. Put everything in the car, go to the post office. I'm always there like 9:15, 9:30, drop my stuff off. At this point, it depends if I want to go hit 2 thrift stores, which are on my way home. I will. If not, I'll come back and continue to list whatever I didn't list before. I'll usually do that until like noon, eat some lunch, and then I will start cleaning the stuff for the next day. Then that's usually I've already had like sales rolling and everything. And that cleaning can take a while. This is where I do all my research, my cleaning, so I know the next morning exactly what I'm going to list. There will be no like comping things out because I've already comped them down and like wrote them down what I have to look up, or saved it on my phone. And then I kind of like take a little chill moment. This is when I do like Instagram, YouTube. If I'm filming that day for YouTube, all that's getting done. And usually around like 4 or 5 o'clock is when I start doing like social media stuff. And then social media will like go for 3 hours. It depends if I'm doing something or, doing a live or whatnot. And then after that, the live, it doesn't matter what time it ends, is that when I pack all the stuff that was sold that day, and then so I don't have to do it the next day. Yeah, that's usually.
I got you.
Most listing goes on Friday, Saturday though, because we'll hit every thrift store, garage sale, and everything. I can usually buy enough that holds me over till the next week, unless I do an online auction, which are Tuesdays. But recently I've been striking out on those. It's been really expensive.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So do you have a dedicated camera setup or almost like a studio, for lack of a better term, as far as when it comes to listing, taking all your pictures, doing that? Like, do you have something already sort of configured? You don't have to move the camera around. You don't have to, adjust that. You just sort of put it on a table. It's already mounted, snap the photo, goes to your computer. Do you have anything like that? Or are you more sort of like you freehand it, for lack of a better term?
No, I have a like one of the rooms. I have a 3-bedroom house, and 2 of my rooms now are like totally dedicated to this. And one room has I've set up, I built basically a photo booth, and so I have like fixed lights. Actually, the light I'm using now is supposed to be in there, but it's a fixed area. I do everything on my phone though. I do not list on the computer at all.
Okay.
Okay.
I do all pictures and everything, and I list faster that way, and I haven't seen a huge difference in people that do it on the computers. It's just your preference, I think. I like to do it on the phone, but I have a I go in there, I have like a staging area, a cleaning area, a like on deck area to take pictures. Then after that, I have an area where I store everything.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a really dedicated process to this. And I imagine you say that would be very important to doing this, especially full time, is that you have to establish some kind of process or routine that you go through with this stuff in order to get it listed quickly so that you can get it sold.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding, is that you have to have something in place, because I didn't realize how many products you need to buy to sell. I mean, it sounds stupid, but I just didn't realize that you need to buy a whole
I know
bunch.
what you mean.
Yeah, you need to buy a whole bunch to sell, some.
Mhm.
But so you have so much coming in when you're selling 10 to 15 to 20 a day. You have even more of that coming in that you're buying. So I have to have these stages that keeps me organized, because I'm not really good at organization, and that's like one of my downfalls. But I'm working on it pretty good. But you have to have, because if not, if I put the unlisted in the room that's the listed room, my day's done.
Yeah.
Once they get intertwined, that's it. You might as well forget.
Yeah. You'll never find anything, or you'll
You'll
swear
never
it's
find
lost.
it.
It's like, I remember seeing that shirt. It's over in this pile somewhere. It's in this tote somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a question for you from the chat, and Marrakesh7 wants to know: do you have a specific niche?
I would say I like selling tools. I have not been able to get like a good lot of tools lately, and that's how I bought them in the beginning. Was I was buying I bought like half a mechanic shop out, and that's how you get like some really good prices on tools, is buying just huge lots. Recently, I have been striking out on that, and I've moved into Casey's niche, which is the golf clubs, because it's so prevalent in my area. It's just you can't not go out and find a good golf club. So take advantage of where you live, and some people live in good hat areas or good coat areas. I live in a good golf club area, so I learned. So I learned my golf clubs, and right now I do tools and golf clubs. I still do a lot of things, but I would say those are my 2 major things I do right now.
Okay.
I wish the golf clubs were more prevalent here in our area. I think being in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, Augusta. No, where's the Masters? Isn't that in South Carolina?
It's in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Is it Augusta, Georgia?
No,
Sure.
I was wrong about that.
I thought it was in Georgia. I could be wrong.
Is it in Augusta, Georgia? Anyway, my point is Myrtle Beach in your area is like more prevalent in golfing. Like there's not a whole lot of it in this area, and you don't see a Titleist or Callaways or Big Berthas or or Pings. You may see them every now and again. Gary's looking at me like I'm telling a lie, but
no. I was looking up. It is in Georgia. Sorry, the Masters is in Georgia. So
it's in Augusta, right?
Yeah, Augusta, Georgia. Yep.
Okay.
Is there Augusta, South Carolina? I think there is.
No, there's not. Augusta's right on the border of the 2 states.
Yeah, that's it. That's probably where the confusion is.
Yeah. We're close.
We're close. All right. Okay. So how long did it take you to really get over that nervous feeling, to get into your comfort zone? How long, or are you still in that nervous zone, and that's maybe what drives you?
Yeah, I'm definitely I'll be comfortable when I don't know if I ever be comfortable, because that's just not how I am. So I constantly, every day, like today I was talking to Kayla, and I was like, man, I haven't sold nothing today. And I just told you that I had a $250 day where I took a really low offer, And then right after I did that, I had like stacked sales.
Look
I
at
was
you.
like, yeah, I was like, whew, all right, well, at least I can breathe today. I made my $150. Because when I was out, I only sold like a Peppa Pig, like until
Like a little plush or something?
yeah. And then it got stacked on like a whole bunch of golf clubs with boosted it, pretty
There you
good.
go.
So I was like, okay, no, but I'm still not there. There is no like comfort zone. I wake up every morning going, I have to make some money today, because when you work for yourself, it's only you. Nobody's gonna pay me.
How are we
Right.
gonna make some money today, boys?
How am I gonna make some money today?
That is actually a good thing about working for yourself, though, is you get to control that. If you're working for somebody else, you're stuck with what they pay you for however long and whatever they feel is fair. That's a good thing about being out on your own doing stuff, is that you can drive your profit and your success. However motivated you are.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I've always said, Gary and I both have always said, this is one of those businesses where you get out of it what you put into it.
Yep.
And a 9 to 5, I'll admit, a 9 to 5, like what I sit at, you could put your heart and soul into it, and you may not get any more out of it, right? You may only get out of it what you got out of it the first day you got out of it. So yeah, that's kind of a motivational thing that's always in the back of my head, even whenever there's like markets are bad or something like that, like it has been this year. Makes you wonder, is this the time? Is this when? And I'm like, in my head, I'm not going to go full resell. And the reason is because I know I can appreciate the years I've already put into the business, into the company. And then that's why I do it on part-time, because to me, that's the extra, that I'm motivated to get. Gary, thoughts on that? You're in the same position I'm in.
Yeah, I am. And, like you said, we've tossed this idea around, several times. So we'll drive up to Atlanta, and Atlanta is like this massive honey hole when it comes to picking, because, I mean, you've got, it's the New York of the South, right? I mean, for all intents and purposes. And you have so many things like super brands that are up there, between Louis Vuitton and Prada and Tom Ford and all these other, top name stuff. So when we go picking in Atlanta, we'll hit up a few Goodwills that were there to see. And, we have to leave the store because we're running out of time, because we still have to get home. And we've got carts full of stuff, and we'll be driving back with the back of the truck full of stuff and saying, why don't we do this as a job? Because we've got enough in here to where, quite honestly, and this is one day of picking, this could probably pay us in our job for 2 weeks of what we get paid, after tax or whatever. And it's always about taking that leap and saying, are we really going to leave a career that we've had or something like that? And I know that's a really, really tough decision. But then again, if your heart's not in your career, then I think it's easier to make that leap. I really think that that's just sometimes what it is. Sometimes your hand's forced at it. If you were to get laid off, or if you had a medical situation came up, excuse me, and you couldn't perform your job duties or whatever, and then maybe your hand gets forced into something like this, but at least it's a pretty good fallback in case you needed something like that to come back on, because you already know the business part of it. Now you're just having to ramp up. Now you get all the time in the world to go picking. You don't have to punch a clock every morning. So
yeah, I definitely don't have that comfort feeling that I could make the jump, because I don't want to put that burden of the jump on my family either. So I got a nice paying job from a 9 to 5. If I get booted out from them, okay, I got something to fall back on.
Yeah. Then you better start going to a lot of yard sales. Every one of them.
Atlanta once a month at least.
That's right.
Yeah. You're going to be in Atlanta every week. That's the thing. If you did this, I think that I mean, Julian, for you, I mean, you're in a decently affluent area, I think, in Myrtle Beach. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a pretty affluent area there. And you've probably got other areas that are pretty close to it, Columbia, Charlotte and stuff like that. Charlotte's North Carolina, but yeah, Wilmington, stuff like
Charleston.
that. So, yeah, you have options that you can hit up and all that. For us, I mean, Atlanta's pretty much, I think, sort of the major place that we would go to if we had to pick full time. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, again, the funny thing is though, is that we talk about this as well while we're in the stores. It's like, you know, should I buy this? You know, it's probably only going to get you about $10 or $15, dude. You know, is it even worth the effort to do it? You know, and we always say, what do we always say, Adam? If I was doing this full time and I had to rely on it for my job, I would definitely grab this. And I think that that's what you're doing too, is that you're taking maybe a lot of the B team and the C team items that, you know, you normally would pass on because, hey, I can make 10, 20 bucks on this. And, you know, like you said earlier, Julian, I'm not hitting home runs on everything, but I'm keeping the cash coming in. And that's what's really important, I think.
It really is important. And you say you're strictly on eBay right now, or have you made a jump to Mercari or anything like that?
I was doing Mercari and I was doing Poshmark, and I'm going to get into them probably like November 1st. I have about 100 pairs of shoes, maybe a little bit more, that I'm going to put on Poshmark. And then it seems like a guy I follow is doing pretty good with golf clubs on Mercari. So I'll probably start cross-listing them. Everything will be put onto eBay, and then I will most likely like dictate out like the ones I want to go for certain things. Like clothing will go to Poshmark. I have some pretty decent clothing that isn't selling on eBay. So what I'll do is I'll start shooting them out to those things where I think, because I won't put everything that I put on eBay to actual like Mercari. It's just I don't think you know. I just won't do that. I don't think it'll be worth my time.
It makes the cross-listing easier if you only have certain items.
And
then say hey to
like,
Buffalo Picker real quick, man. Thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
What's up, Buffalo Picker?
I was watching the show on Friday, and I'm telling you, he's gonna make me some money because he puts out so much good information, stuff I had no idea about Amazon. So I've been tuning in every Friday to him. But yeah, and then when something sells, if a shoe sells, you know that it's only going to be on like that platform. So if it sells on eBay and it's a shoe, that means I only have to delete it on Poshmark. So because that can get a little bit hairy if you're not really paying attention.
Oh, it truly can. I can easily control the cross listing I do with Mercari and eBay. And I do a lot of the same. If I put it on eBay, I pretty much put it on Mercari, unless it's a heavy item. I don't like the way Mercari does the heavy shipping. I feel like they charge the buyer way too much for shipping on heavy items. So I don't. But if it's a golf club, if it's a shirt, if it's a pair of pants, you know, I'll cross list pretty much all of that, shoes on Mercari. But like you said, since I'm only doing one of the platform, I've only got one other place to go to check it. And luckily, I haven't ever had anything sell twice. Better knock on wood. It could happen one day, right?
That's right.
I almost did, though. I just listed earlier this week a pair of I found a pair of True Religion khaki pants for $4.50. Listed them. Since Mercari doesn't do padded flat rate shipping, I do like free shipping, but I increase the price by like $7 or $8, right? And then I list them on eBay too. Buyer pays shipping, padded flat rate. I almost did sell them both on because I sent an offer out to somebody who was watching it on eBay, and then 10 minutes later, somebody sent me an offer on Mercari. And I was like, I was like, they're both really good offers. It's just whoever goes first gets it. Right. Luckily, they did sell. They sold on Mercari for exactly what I wanted them to sell for. So you have to just remember instantly, even though I sent out an offer just 10, 20 minutes ago, I still got to remember, pull it down, because that could easily have technically sold twice. And I know cancellations hurt you on both platforms. That's something you just got to worry about, is the accidental miss if not pulling it down fast enough. Let's say hey to Casey. Carolina Hustler just showed up. What's up, buddy?
Hey,
still gonna make plans to come play golf so I can get that Georgia Bulldog bag, buddy.
That's right. Hey, before we go on to the next question, I was going to say, if for the folks out there, if you haven't caught our interview with Buffalo Picker, go out there and watch that, especially if you're interested in Amazon FBA. Some fantastic information in that interview that we did with him. You know, I mean, it changed the perspective for me as how I see Amazon FBA and even sort of sourcing. It's next level stuff. So, you know, again, thanks to Buffalo Picker for offering that up to us and to all of you as well. The interview with Casey, Carolina Hustler, extremely, extremely good information If you need to know how to sell golf clubs, if you need to know how to, again, sort of make that leap, along with the interview we're doing tonight, check out the back episodes, and you'll see those interviews and get some really good stuff out of it.
That's right. Hey, we got a new face in the crowd. We got Philly Picker here. What's up, everyone? Appreciate you stopping by, Philly Picker.
From Philly.
Yeah, man. Check it out. Everybody's in the chat. If you have not already subscribed to Julian, in the description, I put a link to his YouTube channel. Please support him. Click his link. Go over there and subscribe to him as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. Guys, Julian, I appreciate all the information. This is really good information, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think about it a lot harder. It truly, truly does. I'm not ready to play a game. Who wants to play a game? Anybody want to play a game?
Yeah, let's play a game.
You want to play a game? You ready to play a game?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. It's one of our favorite games that we're going to be playing tonight. If you are in the comments, you are lucky. You get to play along with us. Now, I know the debate's going on, but we're about to have one of the bigger debates right here, right now, talking about pricing on eBay.
There's a debate about something? What?
We're going to be playing a game.
What's going on?
This game is called the Checkout Game. And let me find the application real quick so I can share it on the screen. Where did it go? I don't know. Give me half a second. I might have to close it and reopen it again. Sometimes StreamYard just acts crazy. All right, it's open again. Let's share the screen. And there it is. All right, so the Checkout Game. What we have here we're going to show 4 different products. And these are actually sold products on eBay. And I've hidden the price that they sold for. The point of this game is Julian and Gary are going to guess what they think it sold for. They're going to write it down on their paper and they're going to reveal it to every one of us to see. I'm going to write down their numbers and then we're going to add them up. The person who gets closest to the actual total of these 4 items wins the game, okay? To make it a little bit easier, I'm going to tell my Gary and our guest, the items are between $30 and $50, okay? So your guesses need to be between $30 and $50. I'm telling you that because if you guess $25, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you you're not going to win.
There's no prices right here. You can't bet $1. Yeah,
that's right. There's no dollar. You can't underbid $1.
Yeah.
All right. So remember, guys, these items sold for real on eBay between $30 and $50. Okay. So the first item is Tony Hawk's American Wasteland Xbox 360 game in good condition. It's complete, which includes the magazine, the disc, and the case, and it's been tested. Now, if y'all were paying attention at a previous podcast, this was one of my hot items.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked this one out. So, gentlemen, while you're thinking about that, I want you to write down what you think this item sold for, and then in about 5 seconds, you're going to reveal. So go ahead and write it down.
I remember playing the first Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Anybody remember that? That was a fun
I don't
game.
think it's cool though.
Hours, yeah.
All right, in chat, if you've got a guess and you want to write it in the chat, go for it as well. All right, go ahead and reveal your prices. I'm going to write them down. All right, Julian says $38. And Gary says $42.99.
I was going to go 41.
Well, here in this game, I'm not going to reveal the actual price until all 4 items have been seen. Okay. All right. So the next item is this Polo Ralph Lauren embroidered big pony shirt. All right. This is one of my favorites to sell. It sells nice every time for me.
It's a bed sheet. Wow.
It is a 4XL tall, which you need to consider. Those things sell well as good. If you're going to sell polo, truthfully, in my opinion, and everybody in the chat, listen to me here. If you're going to sell a Polo Ralph Lauren shirt, it either needs to be a big pony shirt or it needs to be a big size. That's how you're going to get seen on eBay with a Ralph Lauren polo shirt. Okay. Are y'all ready to reveal your price? What do you think this item actually sold for? Okay, Gary, you got $39.99.
Yep.
And
Went
Julian,
high.
you got $47.
I almost said 47. That's funny.
Look at there.
I actually I just comped out one of these like 3 days ago. I don't know if it was that, but it was pretty high because I picked it up.
There you go. They do. I'm telling you now. They sell on eBay. All right. Here's the third item. It is a North Face fleece jacket, pre-owned, size 2XL. Not really much to talk about here. Just a general fleece jacket, not a thick one, just a fleece. The North Face, though. The North Face. If y'all don't know the North Face, that's one to look out for. All right. Do y'all have your prices?
I'm gonna shoot low.
All right. Julian says he's gonna shoot low. What do you got? I can't see it. $39.
32, yeah.
And Gary, you wrote $32.99.
That 99 gives me this little weird buffer. I can always say that I'm close to the 33 or whatever.
There you go.
I see Polar Tech in that as well. Polar Tech, it's funny for the people who don't know Polar Tech makes some of the best cold weather clothing. Like they're more like a company that doesn't release much of their own stuff, but they're always manufacturing cold weather material for companies like the North Face. Arc'teryx is a big one. Basically, if you bought a Polar Tech jacket, you've bought an Arc'teryx jacket. The military uses Polar Tech, so they're actually very big as far as cold weather gear. Anyway, proceed.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of
I
cold
love
weather
Polar
gear
Tech.
down here. Yeah.
Well, we do, and we're further south than you do.
I know, right?
Do you really? I don't find any type of like good jackets down here. Like the North Face, I might find like one every like 3 months.
Well, you
Oh,
know,
yeah?
you get down here in the deeper south, and I mean, if it goes below like 75 degrees, people are like strapping up jackets.
Bundling up.
So there's a collection. that
Probably
people
what it
actually
is the people down south, they're like, oh, let's go somewhere cold for the Christmas, for the winter. And then
That's
they
right.
decide, oh, I hated that.
Let's
They
go
just give
see
it away when
snow.
they get home.
Let's go see snow.
All right. The last item. Y'all ready for this? This is for the season that we're in right now. It is what is this? A pumpkin blow mold, 15 inches tall. It's a jack-o'-lantern sitting on top of a bale of hay with a witch's cap on top. Yeah, that's pretty good for Christmas. And those blow molds, whether they be for Christmas or Halloween, those are supposed to be a hot item, right?
They're supposed to be.
All right. So y'all got a good look at this. New. It's brand new too. It's not vintage though.
Not vintage.
New Halloween blow mold, 15 inches, jack-o'-lantern on a haystack with a purple witch hat on top. All right, you got your prices written down?
I have no idea.
Yep. Yeah, I'm shooting high on this one because it's
I'm
going to be that
shooting
one
low.
thing that surprises me.
All right, Gary, you got $47.99.
Yep, that's right.
What you got, Julian? $37.
I have no
Okay.
idea.
All right, here's where we're going to reveal the actual prices.
I'm excited.
Y'all still remember what y'all wrote down, right? You got them. You don't
Anybody
scratch them out or
remember?
nothing, did you?
Anybody in the comments guessing prices on these?
We got Carolina Hustler. He guessed $24.99. I think that was for the blow mold at the end. That's all we got right now.
Okay.
All right. The Tony Hawk Wasteland, American Wasteland Xbox game, $31.99.
31.
Wow.
$31.99. Julian, you
the
were
99 part, right?
all right. The Polo Ralph Lauren Big
Jesus.
Pony Polo in 4XL tall, $39.99.
Oh, nailed it.
Gary nailed
job.
that one. Exact.
Wow.
No, he did not know what was going to be shown for this show starter.
Yeah, because
Nah,
otherwise I would have guessed
yeah.
a lot better on that Tony Hawk thing.
All right. The North Face Fleece Jacket 2XL. It sold for $49.99.
Wow. It's got to be the Polar Tech part, like honestly, because like I haven't had good luck with North Face fleece, you know.
Me neither.
Yeah, it always sells. It's got to be the Polar Tech part.
There you go.
And
you know about Polar Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And the Halloween blow mold, the 15-inch jack-o'-lantern with a haystack and a purple witch hat. Are you ready for this? $44.99.
44.
$44.99.
All right.
All right, boys and girls, we're going to have to do a little bit of math real quick, and let's see who got closer. The total retail price of all 4 items was $166.96. Gary, you came. Let me add yours up real quick. Sorry, guys. This is the hardest part of this game. Dead air talk.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, going back to some of these items. I mean, again, there's a few things here. Like I think that you know. One of the points of this game is never sort of discount anything that you see out there. You know, even if it's something that's kind of odd, but if you have familiarity with it, you know, research it on your phone. There's the eBay app. Look up the sold listings. Look up how many are listed. You know, as Adam pointed out, if it's big and tall, large sizes and a lot of things tend to sell really well. So, yeah, just you know, never really put anything out as well. That's not going to sell. You know, while I'm figuring this out, one of my success stories, I found, you know, those it's a computer mouse, but it's got a little tracker ball in the top of it. I think Microsoft put them out. I saw one of those at Goodwill one time. What did I pay for that, Adam? $3? You can pay $3 for it. I sold it in 24 hours. I sold it for $100. You know, and I was stunned.
The big red ball?
Yeah, the big red ball that sits in the middle. I was stunned because I said, I didn't know anybody uses these anymore. But apparently it's a thing. So, you know.
All right, we got our totals. Y'all ready to hear? Y'all ready? All right. The total retail price of all 4 items was $166.96. Julian, your total came to $161 for a difference of $5.96. That's really darn good. That's really close. Gary, your total came to $163.96 for a difference of exactly $3.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Wow.
Very nice job, guys. Very nice
I'm
job.
impressed with both of us, to be honest.
I was about to say,
Very
high five, virtual high fives, man. Yeah, that's that we're pretty close on those. So
that was a very good game. I think, honestly, I think that's a really good game. I think it helps a lot keeping it between 2 different prices. That way we just don't go crazy on this game. Excellent job, guys. Very nice. Gary, you take home the belt one more time.
What?
That's the championship.
All right. That's right. So Gary continues to hold the belt. And
I need to find those WWE belts, you know, at the Goodwill.
I'm going to buy one of the tiny ones. And you got to wear it every week.
That's right.
On your forehead.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, I wear it like The Rock. You know, The Rock always put it over his shoulder. You know?
Just right here.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a little Tweety bird.
Yeah.
All right. That was a fun game. Have y'all got your hot and knots? Y'all ready to show them off? Let's do it.
Hot or not.
All right.
Hot
or not.
Yeah.
In this particular segment, everyone in the chat, this is when we like to share with you basically a bolo, a hot item that we always keep our eyes open for. We came across recently, didn't know it was one, and we want to share it with you. Or we have a not item. This could be something that we came across we thought was going to be good, and it turned out to be nothing. Or it used to be good, and now it's just completely sunk like a battleship. So, Gary, you want to go first? What's your hot item?
My hot item is going to be anything made by 47 brand. All right. 47 brand is a sportswear company that actually originates out of Boston, if I recall correctly. They sell everything from hats to T-shirts to jackets. You know, usually you'll see hats most often. 47 brand is it's a pretty hot brand because they tend to sell sort of more what's the word, more like antique looking shirts and hats. So it's a little bit more comfortable fitting. It's not necessarily the big bulky jerseys. It's not, you know, the sort of, you know, full printed logos, very busy. It's almost more like a sort of vintage logo sometimes of a sports team. You know, the hats are generally sort of those wash dad hats, I think is what they call them. You know, I actually quite like them myself as they fit my head the way I like it, and they're comfortable. But yeah, anything by 47 brand is big, and they usually do certain special items too, depending on where you're from. Like again, they originated in Boston, and so for the Red Sox, they have a Fenway collection, that they do that's specific. So if you find anything that's Red Sox 47 brand and it's the Fenway collection, you'll get a little bit extra money out of that.
That's good job. New Era is the name I know of, but 47 I'll add to my list. Julian, you got a hot item you want to share with the group?
I do. I actually have it right here. Let me bend over and pick it up. This is just going to be the actual like name brand. And these I've noticed in golf clubs have been selling faster than any other brand that I picked up in the last like 3 days. And you already said it.
Big Bertha.
Callaway.
Yeah, it's the even like the driver obviously, but the single irons, even the old ones are selling much faster than my TaylorMades. Like every day I'll have a Callaway sell. I think the other day I had 3 or 4 sell on the same day. So and they're all Big Bertha, Callaway, something. So they really are so far. They're outselling all my other golf clubs.
That is a great one. That is a good one. I had actually forgotten about how popular Big Bertha was. I don't hardly see it, but I came across one at a church yard sale one time for $1, and I promise you, this thing looked like it was from the 80s or 70s, in fact. But I picked it up anyway because it was just $1. Sold it for $45.
Yeah, they still sell for like that one I just showed. I think I have it on for like $98.
I believe it. That is a good one. Thanks for sharing that one. My hot item, you've heard of On Cloud. You've heard of Hoke One shoes, but I've come across a pair of shoes called Ultra, Altra, Ultra. And that's in the same league of shoes as those other two. They're in the same league, not quite as hot, but they are still hot. If you find Ultra, Altra, I would suggest picking them up. Of course, taking all things into consideration, such as the how messed up are they or how well have they been worn, right? But of course, you take that into consideration with any pre-owned clothing you look at anyway. But Ultra, Altra, picked up a pair for that look practically brand new. They were my size. I almost kept them. Picked them up for $10, sold them for $55 within 2 days. So I don't know if I priced them too low, but I was just happy, 10 into 55. I'll take it all day long.
You can't beat that.
So, Gary, you got a knot? Something we need to stay away from?
I do, and I can't even believe I'm going to say this because I haven't really had good success with this lately, it kind of shocks me because this used to be like every time I got these, like they'd fly off the shelf. I mean, I couldn't keep them in stock, and that's Merrell. Like, so Merrell, yeah, I know that's the weird thing, right? So now I'll say this with a caveat, right? If it's certain Merrells, the Moab boots that they sell, the Moab mids and the Moab lows, those usually will sell pretty well. The thing is that, some of their other shoes just don't seem to be either as fashionable anymore, or sometimes they're, excuse me, unless they're in really tip-top condition, they're not going to sell for much. And it seems like our Goodwills around here want an arm and a leg for anything like Merrell. So there's not a lot of meat on the bone left anymore. So the caveat to it is, if you can get them at a good price, buy them. If you find them at a yard sale, buy them. If you're going to spend, $10, $15 for a pair of these, I'd probably just let them slide. Even the Moab boots, I think, if they're used in really good condition, you could probably get about $40-$50 for them, which is great. But if you're spending, $20 to get them, again, if you're doing it full time like you are, Julian, then absolutely pick them up. If you're doing it as sort of a hobbyist, part time, thing, maybe something you can move on from and not have them sit around for a while.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, and I'll agree with you, Gary. Our local Goodwills, they're all owned by the same franchise, and they have done some type of new strategy where shoes of any value really start at $15 now. Like that's bottom price.
Yeah.
And I honestly, it's really reduced the number of shoes I've picked up because of that. So yeah. If I'm going to pay 20, I'm not going to sell it for 40. I'm going to sell it for like 60 plus, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, Julian, you got a knot? Any brand that we should not look at?
And I will agree with the Merrell thing because I have they're slow movers for me right now, like probably for the last 6 months. I have another one. I had two. One's kind of funny that I picked up like a while ago, which wouldn't sell. But also, Dansko shoes for some reason they were super hot like 6 months ago. The clogs, the nurse clogs, and for some reason they are. Even on my Instagram, I posted a picture of like a really good looking pair, and somebody's like, "Man, I've had mine sitting for like 6 to 8 months that haven't sold."
Yeah.
And they usually would go for like $60 in really good condition. I sold those for 40 and have another pair sitting that is in like perfect condition, and they haven't sold yet. And they, for some reason, I don't know what's going on with that brand. It's still a really good brand. I just don't know. It was selling super, super high and very, very fast, like 3 months ago. And right now, like I said, I got one sitting for a while, and they're in really good condition, a good size, a good design, and they haven't sold. So I would say obviously still pick them up, but they're not as fast moving. But the real thing is I bought this thinking this was something good. This is how I know that I don't know what I was doing. Or I don't know. I comped this out. This is called Ergomates.
Okay.
It goes on your foot.
Okay.
And I bought it thinking that like I didn't know how to scan items at the time. And I was like, who wouldn't want to have sponges on their feet? It's for anti-fatigue. Turns out nobody. It's got like 4 views on eBay and like
oh wow.
So don't buy sponges for your feet.
Don't buy Ergomates.
Yeah, it goes into the yard sale
They
pile.
actually won't sell. Yeah. I might try them on. I don't know. I just know they ain't gonna sell on eBay.
Might as well.
Yeah.
They might be
not selling new in box, so maybe they'll get
brand new. Nobody's ever worn them.
That is a great one. That is a good one. Yeah. Oh man, my knot's not as good as yours, but I'm gonna say, guys, I think you should probably hang off on picking up kids' Jordans under the size of 5 youth. 7s and 8s, they'll still sell, but if you see something, even if it's pristine Jordans, they're just not buying them right now. 5 youth or lower, don't worry about picking them up. I actually picked up throughout the summer, June and July. I probably bought about 6 or 7 pair as I came across them for $5 or less, thinking back to school may be the time I'll get rid of them, right? I was way wrong. I've still got 5 of those 7 pair, and the 2 pair I did sell. I didn't sell them for what I wanted to sell them for. Let's just put it that way. So I'd say stay away from Jordans that are size 5 youth or lower in the size scale. But Jordans overall, you know how that is. They're collector's items, but those kids ones, not so much. But I appreciate y'all sharing those things with us. I want to share something real quick that Casey and it was Buffalo Picker. Buffalo Picker was telling us about TerraPeak. He said it's an app. It's a free tool on eBay if you have a storefront. And it's basically a data collection tool on items that sells on eBay. So I'm going to check that out. I got a storefront. I paid $20 a month for a storefront. And I'm going to check that out. But I appreciate you sharing that with us, Buffalo Picker. I think that will probably, if I'm reading this correctly, it's something that'll help us understand, what we need to be looking for before we go into the store. New styles, new brands we've never tried before. Looks like we could use this data collection tool to tell us, hey, this is number 1 hot item in this category. Pay attention to it when you go in the store next time. See if you can find it. That's what I'm hoping. That's what it is, at least. He called it a COVID game buster. Okay. You're talking about TerraPeak there? Anyway, we're going to definitely check out TerraPeak in my eBay store and learn from that one. I appreciate you dropping that piece of knowledge for us, Buffalo Picker. Well, Julian, I really appreciate you coming on the show with us tonight.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you sharing your story with us and letting us get to know you better. I appreciate Kayla allowing you to have a little bit of time away so that you could join us. And everybody out there, I really appreciate you joining us. The chat was excellent and great tonight. We had lots of fun. I had fun with the game. Y'all did a really good job on that guessing game. I'm going to have to come up with some better items, make it a little bit more tougher next time.
Yep, you got it.
Any last words of wisdom, Julian? You want to leave the crowd before we leave? Anything about if they're thinking about making that leap?
If they're thinking about it, just know exactly how much you need to bring in monthly. Know how much that you can't afford not to bring in. Like, make sure you have some money built up that is not for like inventory or spending or anything like that. That's like to pay the bills if you completely like sink for 5, 6, 7, 10 months or whatnot. Something could happen. So make sure you have that it's little safety net, but pretend like you don't have it. Work like it's not there, obviously. But but it would be, you need to have that, but it can't be factored in to buying inventory, because when you start coming out to scale, you need a buying power. You need some sort of, you need to buy a lot of stuff right off, and you'll make your money back, obviously, but you need to have some money, saved up for bills, but also you better have some money to buy some inventory, because you got to front that money first.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
You could definitely do it. Like, this is a doable thing. It really is.
And I don't think it's something that there's too many people in the game, right? Like, it's not like it's oversaturated or anything like that.
There's like 1 billion buyers on Amazon. There's like a whole bunch on eBay. It's not 1 billion, but it's a lot.
Gary, you got any last words for our listeners?
Just, I mean, echoing what Julian's saying, I think having a good plan going into this is key to it. My oldest stepson, I may have told this story a little bit last time, that he wants to actually leave his job and he wants to go into reselling. And I said, all right, cool. Well, that's a good strategy. So what do you plan to do? Because essentially that's what he's doing. He's doing it full time, right? He's 18 years old, but it's his source of income. So I said, well, what's your plan to do it? And he says, well, I'm going to go hit up the thrift stores while I'm going to my job, take some extra time and do that. And I said, all right, well, my advice to you is to, take so if you sell something for $15, for example, so take 15, take 5 of it and save it, take 5 of it and buy more inventory, take 5 of it and have fun with it. If you find that you're having less fun and you want to buy more stuff, then you've got that extra buffer money, but save some of that away for a rainy day whenever you're not making some of the sales you thought you were. So I think it goes back to having a plan, and those numbers, of course, are going to vary for other people. I mean, he doesn't have any bills, so for him, it's all fun money. But sort of helping him develop a strategy to make it sustainable, I think, is what I was trying to communicate to him there. So
excellent. I want to make sure that I put out this little PSA, public service announcement. This is the last show we're going to do before it's November 3rd. And if you haven't voted early, please just do whatever you have to get out there and vote. It is our freedom and our right to do so. So make your vote, make it count. And it doesn't matter who you vote for to me. I just want to see you go out there and vote, everybody. This is great country. I was going to say, it's a great country to be in where you exercise that freedom. Just don't let it pass you by. Go out there and vote.
I agree.
Everybody out there, appreciate you joining us tonight. I want y'all to stay safe and have fun picking. Y'all have a good night. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.